When Koichi transfers to a new school, he senses a frightening atmosphere in his class, a secret none of them are willing to talk about. Koichi is immediately drawn to a mysterious girl named Mei Misaki, but as he begins to realize that no one else in the class is aware of her presence, soon after his arrival, what is known as the Calamity begins, and it claims the lives of many students one after the other. Starting with the positives, I like the tone that the show has. It's very dark, very muted, and it goes alongside with the visuals of the show. And this was done by PA Works, and I think they did a pretty good job. The animation was good, and the overall art style was just dark and moody, and it really fit the tone of the show. Another positive I have would probably be the soundtrack. The soundtrack had a good spooky vibe to it. It all fit pretty well, and I did enjoy the OP. It is a bit hit or miss on some people regarding the OP, but I actually kind of enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy the ED though. That would probably be my one negative of the sound, but other than that, the show sounds pretty good. And my final positive for this show is that the death scenes are really cool. They're gory, they're creative. Some of them are a bit hokey and a little bit too cheesy, but as a big fan of horror movies, especially the cheesy ones, I really enjoyed the cheesy deaths that this show has, and there's quite a few of them too. Moving over to my negatives, I would have to say that this show has a very weak cast. All the characters, aside from Mei, are pretty lame. Mei is the only character I would say is interesting and has a cool, unique backstory, but everybody else was just there to die or you're the main character. And I'm not a fan of Koichi. He's just your basic bitch self-insert anime protagonist who has no real personality and is only there to just be the main character. On top of this show having some pretty boring ass characters, this show is fucking boring. This show has 22-minute episodes, and for the life of me, they felt like they were 48 minutes. Until they get to the cool kill scenes, the rest of the episodes are fucking boring. I could not pay attention to save my life, so I switched to the dub, and the dub is fine, but it still didn't make my experience any more enjoyable if I decided to continue with the sub. The ending to the show does fit, and I guess it's a pretty solid ending, but for me personally, I was just happy to get this fucking shit over with, because I didn't want to watch any more of this show. It just wasn't doing it for me, I'm sorry. I only enjoyed the death scenes and the way the show looks. It's pretty good, but other than that, this show just failed to get my attention, and it failed to entertain me for the 22 minutes that it provided me. I didn't like any of the characters, and I just didn't like this show. Now, I could see why people would like this show, and to be fair, it's not the worst anime I've ever seen. It's just, it didn't click with me. It was boring to me, and if you do watch this show and you end up liking it, feel free to let me know, and I'm glad you found something in the show that I couldn't. So definitely check it out and make up your own opinion. Don't take my word for it. For anybody asking me what do I think of the show, I would just say skip it. I would rate the show as a skip it, honestly. There's better horror anime out there like Shiki. I enjoy Elfen Lied a lot more than this. Hellsing is awesome. Either way, let me know down below what you thought of Another. I will catch you all next time. Big thanks to Ash the Man, Warpbait, and Miasma Senpai for supporting me on Patreon. You guys are awesome.